Very good evening, my friends out there. Of course, still in a new year, enjoying ourselves and probably enjoying our football still. Yeah, today's topic I want to talk about what I put there, the familiarity that breeds contempt, especially among us fans. The other day, KCC FC lost a game to Bright Stars, which of course didn't go down very well with the fans. And sometimes as fans you can try to relate to it and say, okay, maybe you think your team lost because the coach probably didn't pick the right lineup. The coach, according to some fans, he has problems with players, agendas and all that kind of stuff. But as a fan of KCC, of course, I thought that a bit strange and surprising. And that's why I decided to use the word like familiarity really breeds contempt. Because for a club like KCC, for the history that we have, having gone so many years without winning anything, and when Mike comes, he actually he brings a revolutionary that revolutionizes the kind of way KCC plays. We go back to the kind of football that we used to love to watch in the 80s and actually win titles, get into the Confederation group stages, Champions League. I mean, we have got some success, but the success has come at the hard work and the strong willingness of a certain person, and now we are taking it for granted. When I saw a video that was circulating on social media that KCC fans wanted to lynch Mike, I was so amused. I mean, how fickle our minds can be. KCC fans, we have reached that level of trying to become aggressive because we lost a game. I mean, I don't want to think that the people I saw in the videos were serious with what we are doing, especially having followed this team for quite some time. We have been through the worst, like really the worst, especially the time when Villa dominated us. Villa really dominated us, and we actually went so many years without a league title. So it is surprising how contemptuous now we become as fans. I mean, success sort of puts us at another pedestal and we start actually outright misbehaving. I think the fans of KCC really misbehaved, though I have seen this over a period of time, even the clubs that I've been in. My personal experience, I test it. I mean, people forget. I don't know why people forget very fast. And success goes into their head, and now they start thinking they're the greatest team probably on earth, and probably they can't lose a football game. But forgetting the principle at which, how did KCC get to where it is right now? Because I remember when Mike started this, everybody was saying, why he's bringing these kids, his children, and this kind of children and what. But right now, they're the same people crying for some people to be on the team. I mean, when Okello was being introduced, I remember some people like, oh, this boy is too young, he shouldn't be participating in these football matches. All these Kizas were very young, and I mean, all that stuff. But today, when Kiza does not play a match, then the fans are going to lynch the coach. It is really surprising. But for KCC, it was really in bad taste. Really. Because I'm a KCC fan, and I'm speaking as a KCC fan. Because I was so amused to see the Jalias. Especially Jalia. Because Jalia has really suffered with this KCC team. Now that she has seen some success, I mean, she should have held back and said, wait a minute. We have seen some success. We are the current holders of the title. I mean, that should be, we have played in the CAF Confederation, which we never used to do before. I mean, we used to hear of this as KCCA. Now that we have done it, our people have lost it. And they're like, no, we have to lynch the coach. This coach hates players and all this stuff and what this stuff. And I'm speaking from an informed point of view because I have seen it. For example, my story with the Maroons Football Club is the same thing. Maroons was in the first division, I think, for almost 20 years. 20 years in first division. So I come and put them in the league, but I get problems again with a few people. Very many people get problems with me and say, oh, no, the coach is turning this team into it because I introduced young boys in the team. I actually did things the way people would not actually understand. Because when you're strict, when you stick to your point, when you're disciplinarian, then, of course, success will come. But after success has come, then, like they say, familiarity breeds contempt. And now they become familiar with success. When people become familiar with success, then they forget that actually at a certain period of time they were actually unsuccessful, very unsuccessful. Now that they're successful, they have forgotten that actually the reason why they're successful is because one person put up his soul, body on the line to make sure that this club is become successful. So Mike has done that, put everything that he knows online for cases to become successful. So it is so disrespectful for fans like Jalia who have suffered for KCC and all those people I saw on the video misbehaving, really misbehaving. There should be a point of respect that Mike should have right now at KCC, that it should not be above reproach, and people should find a way on how to get their information heard, but not the kind of way we were KCC fans. Because I'm a KCC fan, the way we approach that issue over a defeat by Bright Star, abusing him, derogatory words. I mean, this is unacceptable as KCC fans. Those ones who are out there watching, it's unacceptable because you cannot derogate a person of that caliber who has done a lot for us as a football club to bring back our respectability. Because KCC, we had lost respectability. Nobody respected us anymore. But on the continent, we are the Sekafa champions. We played on the continent. We have so many, and you find fans have lost sense and sensibility and reasoning that we are now ready to lynch him because we lost a football match. I mean, that should, I think the KCC fans, the chairman and all the people, we should apologize. We should really apologize to Mike, and if we have grievances with him, we should find a way to communicate. But that communication, that the way we communicated after the Bright Star game, I think was very, very, very bad. I mean, very, very bad. That would have been, maybe if it was Express, because Express lost 6. I don't know what the Express fans should have done. Because even the Express fan, the coach is a legend. The Express coach is a legend at Express. So, what would the Express fans, what would they have done? But for KCC, I think it was so bad. And like I said, our chairman of the fans should find a way of apologizing. We should write a written apology. Probably even go and meet him and apologize to him. Because what we did was so disrespectful. I mean, I saw fans abusing a coach on the bench seated. Mike was seated there. I mean, I don't even know what was running through his head, because personally, if it was me, God forbid, I probably would have gone and I would have taken on that fan Mike is a very respectful man, so he sat down, he soaked it in, and what? Me, I wouldn't. I would have probably gone up to you, because where do you get the impotence to? If I have delivered to you what would have been like the Holy Grail, I have given it to you. I mean, you have respectability. You must respect some of these people. Even if we are fans, we get annoyed and what. I mean, there must be a way to respect these people. And I think what we did was so bad, so bad, extremely very bad, that first of all, we disgraced ourselves as fans. What about the young fans who are out there? What did we show to them? Because KCC, that's not our way. That's not the KCC way. We don't disagree like that. KCC doesn't disagree like that. And even if we disagree, we find a way of the way we disagree. We can disagree during the game, maybe do something. We can become like the Real Madrid, wave our yellow hankies, meaning that we are not happy with what is going on. And our leaders should take, but the way we did it yesterday as KCC, I think it was very bad. Our leaders of the fans should take it off. Even talk to the fan about it. I mean, there are moments, because there are reasons why. For example, now we know that the players who are not playing probably are in Nigeria and Morocco, trying to get. We didn't know that. As fans, we didn't know that. But we use it and abuse our coach, not knowing what's inside the football club. And most of the fans probably did not show up, don't know, maybe the players were sick or what. And even, I don't think there's a coach who sets up a team to probably lose a match, unless he's unprofessional in the way he's doing the things. So, that familiarity, that kind of familiarity, I think it was terrible. That was a very terrible thing, very, very embarrassing. KCC, we are very embarrassed about. Of course, I don't know about others, but as for me and a few people that I know, I think that was very, very embarrassing for the football club itself. I mean, let's lose, but let's lose respectably. And all the other fans out there, because when you have achieved as much as you have achieved, then what about the other teams that haven't won nothing? I mean, what do you expect them to do if they have nothing to celebrate, and probably that team is a punching bag left, center, and right? What are they supposed to do? For KCC that has achieved, and we are behaving the way we're behaving, I think it is very, 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 very bad. So that is what I'm thinking, because I think the familiarity, KCC has become so familiar. KCC has become very familiar with success, that they have forgotten that actually there's the other part that you might actually not win, or you might draw. Like I said at the beginning of the season, I think for some of you who are following, I thought that actually Vipers was going to win the title. From word go, I thought Vipers was going to win the title. And it's not because I didn't, because actually somebody actually defriended me for saying that the KCC, a very staunch KCC fan, a lady, defriended me on Facebook because I said that Vipers was going to win the title. And I was being realistic, because I saw what Vipers was doing. I've seen what Vipers has done over a period of time. In the last 3-4 years, they actually won success. And KCC sort of had hit the maximum, and the only way was to, first of all, take a backseat, then attack again. And that was because you build, as the way KCC has been building, the way Mike has been brought in so many kids, they have played, mixed it up with, and we have got a semblance of what. And another thing is that people don't understand, that as coaches who have principle, discipline is paramount. Same to me. I think for those ones who have worked with me, the players who have worked with me, with Maroons, they know I did not spare you. For if you actually crossed the line, I didn't spare you. I just didn't spare you, regardless of who you are. Sometimes the players would actually be brought back. You'd find an official trying to bring you back. The player saying, no, coach, you see. And of course, I also got this kind of thing that you have misunderstanding with the players. Yes, I did. Actually, in every club that I went, I had misunderstanding with people, because I believe in principle. If you do not follow the rule, the law that is set up by the coach, I mean, you have no business playing football. So if Mike is doing it for that purpose, and these players are actually indisciplined, I mean, let them stay out. Because there's no room for that. because a disciplined and indisciplined player is going to bring so much division in the team that at the end of the day you're not achieving your goals. So I still think that okay, I see Kavuma. My prediction was that Villa would get relegated. I was not so far from it, Mr. Kavuma, because right now you've gone, I think, 3 games without winning a single game, and probably you're going to lose the next one to Vipers, which will make it 4. So you're very lucky that Kavuma, you got some few wins here and there that put you to the top, but please watch out. Otherwise, you also might be heading the same direction. So my point here is that fans of KCCA, especially KCCA, we have a certain way of a certain caliber. If we degenerate to the way our friends over at Villa Park, Kavuma, I don't know if you're still at Villa Park anyway. My friend Daniel, I don't know if you're still at Villa Park, but the friends at Villa Park and the other ones in, I don't think Wankuku, because they're now playing in Kavumba. So we can't degenerate to that level. We had a certain kind of way of doing things, and I don't think we have reached that level. The moment we start reaching that level, I think we have now crossed the boundaries, and we might go to a point of no return, just like our friends. Because our friends, the Express and Villa, have hit hard times because of that kind of rudimentary way of doing things, where the fans just get to the crowd, to the coaching and pull the coach, abuse the coach, sack the coach, and what and what. So if we, KCC, go to that level, we go to the level of Villa and we go to the Express side, I mean, we have lost it. So we need to stay focused. And our behavior must come back to what? To where we are supposed to be. Mugume Alari asking me when I return into football. Football is not something that you can leave, because that's the comment that is putting up. Football is not something that you can actually leave. That's why right now I'm talking to you about football. So I actually haven't left football. It depends on what role you're asking. Because you might be asking, am I returning to be a football coach? Maybe one time I can return to be a football coach. Maybe not. Maybe not be a football coach. Maybe do something else, because football has a wider kind of perspective. I don't have to be a coach of football. Probably be a club owner or something like that. I could own a football club. I could do very many things in football. I don't have to. This is my uncle. This means everything in football. The club is bigger than the player. Yes, Clement Mawenu, who is actually my uncle, says discipline is everything. The club is bigger than the player. And that is supposed to be the message out there to every these clubs. I have been in clubs, Maroons. In Maroons, I tried to make sure that the club was bigger than the player. I tried to. And I think by the time I left, the club was always bigger than the player, because the club would dispense with anybody who crossed the line, because the club was big. Because I used to tell them, if the club was formed in 1965, how do you come in 2017 and try to make the club rotate around you? So that is unquestionable. The club should always be bigger than the player. So if the player goes astray, then I think the club has a right to dispense with that kind of player and move on. Because the club is not just this player. There are fans who follow the club. The club is as big, because it's a party. It's one big party. That's why they call it a club. We enter inside. We enjoy ourselves. So if there is this one player who is supposed to be the DJ playing bad music, I mean, we remove the DJ. Get another one. Let's get another one who is going to entertain us. Abdu Wasike, Kajambo. I hope you're happy now. Vipers is doing things the right way, and I'm very happy for my friend Wasike, because we come a long way to see Wasike in Vipers and being part of the administration of Vipers and doing great things. I mean, proud of you, Abdu. I hope you continue doing it, and hope to see Vipers winning the title this season. I'm KCC, but really, my prediction was that Vipers would actually win this. Why? Not because really that I really support them to win it. No, because you'd actually see the things that Vipers was doing. Yeah? And when I came up and said that actually Vipers could be the only football club in Uganda at the moment. Maybe KCC coming a bit close because of the things that KCC also have tried to do. Because Vipers did what KCC has been trying to do. Because Vipers got KCC's blueprint. Now that one you should know. Because when Mike went to KCC, Mike started doing things. Now Vipers immediately got the blueprint and did it. And they've now done it even better than KCC. Because if you look at the football club, if you look at the stadium, if you look at the gym, if you look at the way they're doing things now, of course they had a few administrative issues. If the Haruna Chobes can actually mend these things and make sure that there's stability. But most importantly, I told you at the beginning of the season that the return of Golora at Vipers was going to make it very formidable, because Golora knows everything about what? Everything about that football club. So, and is going to push them to that level. So, my topic, not to digress, fans out there, the KCC fans, and what we misbehaved, and we need to get back to our sense and sensibilities, and even other fans elsewhere. Mr. Kavuma of oh, nice, Sophie Najemba is watching, and the leader. Actually, she sits on the board on our behalf. I hope that, Sophie, you humbly apologize to Coach Mike. We misbehaved, including yourself and myself and everybody. Sophie, please apologize, and hopefully that you can, we can behave a bit better. If we have a problem with the coach, for so many other reasons, we can actually pass them, find a way that does not derogate the person. Because to me, Coach Mike is now a legend. He played for us. He was a footballer, but as for a coach, he probably could be one of the best coaches we have had at KCC, and probably even in the near future. Because any coach who is going to coach at KCC right now has to beat Mike's legacy. Now that's going to be the biggest coach. If we ever get another coach at KCC, the coach has to now have the pedestal is very, very high for any coach to take over. What are you going to do? Because if Coach Mike has been in the group stages of the CAF Confederation, you must go to the Champions League, or even get out of the group stages. Coach Mike has won us a double. Coach Mike has won us back-to-back titles. I mean, there is so much that he has done for us that the way we behaved was really, really unnecessary, and it wasn't good at all. But of course, like I said, that is because of familiarity. We are now being familiar to success, that we have now become a bit disrespectful in all aspects. So, that was my point today. KCC fans, please let us try to get back. Yes, let's support our team. Let's be passionate. Let's disagree. By the way, I believe in disagreement. You can disagree, but the way you disagree sometimes has to be proportionate to what you're disagreeing upon. Because the way we disagreed, there's a gentleman in the video who was swearing obscene words at the coach. Jalia, I mean, Jalia is my friend, but I don't know. I don't know what is going on. And of course, Maxi actually defriended me because I said Vipers was going to win. But you're my friend, Max. How are you? How are you doing? And we should support KCC not because of what disagree. Because I said Vipers is going to win the title does not mean I don't support KCC. I was only being realistic about what I was saying. So that was my assertion this week, and that is the topic that I wanted to talk about, KCC. So let us be. I can see Salongo Matia Lule is also watching. Coach Kajambo. He's calling me Masana. Okay, Coach Matia, nice to see you, but I hope Coach can be teaching some of these people also about the way we should behave in football. Yes, we can be very passionate, but not erratic. You know, passion passion sometimes can lead to being erratic, because now cases we are being erratic, because erratic can easily mean that we can actually derail. Just like Robert Mutebi is watching right now. Robert, I think I told you one time that we had to write a letter to apologize Robert Mutebi of People Power. We have to write a letter to Wenger to apologize, because you remember at one time we were all saying, oh, Wenger should go, even swabs in words. But in the last few years, I think we could have actually begged him to come back. To actually come back and stabilize us, because at one time we were just 4 points off the relegation. That was Arsenal. That's how bad we can. So KCC, be very careful. What we have right now, we have stability. We have stability. We have a chain that's bringing in youth players. Mike is bringing in youth players, introducing them one by one every day. So meaning that we have stability and continuity. So KCC fans, be very careful, because if we push this thing and we derail it, we can easily go back and become like our friends at Villa Park, because Villa has did the same thing, self-destruction. Villa actually self-destructed, because Villa could have dominated us for a very long time, because they had Jogo Young, they had very good management, they had the Mandelas, they had the Mugabes, they had, even the last president of theirs, Mr. Misaga, people who would invest their resources into the club. You had Mr. Mwema. Actually, Villa had some of the best brains and managerial work, but because of the few individuals who actually derailed Villa, and one of them, of course, without saying a lot, is the Mr. Magogo. I'm sorry, Mr. Magogo, to speak about you, but you derailed Villa. Villa would not have been derailed if you had not interrupted them, because you kept on pushing agendas and what. Mr. Ambide also contributed a lot to the demise of Villa, because it's going to take Villa another, I don't know how many years, because they've gone so many years without a title. I hope they don't become a Liverpool, because Liverpool is probably going to win the title, but I hope they don't become Liverpool now and go all those years without winning a title. So fans, if the fans do not know where to go, then they will always derail the football club, because you can see what Villa did. They derailed the football club. Express did the same thing. They derailed, because Express management has all gone, and they ended up with Madame Nachwara as the president of their team, and that was now an indictment on them, And there was a time when the Madame couldn't even mention even a single player on her team, and that is how we are going. So let KCC be very careful of what is happening right now, and hopefully we can check ourselves and not try to push this thing off the rail, because KCC is on the right track. We might not win the title this season, but probably win it next season, because you don't have to win it next season, every year, because there's always a setback. Because right now we might have a setback because we're losing players and what. And another thing people have to know, that players have to leave. Players have to leave. You cannot have these players play for you, because if a player plays in Uganda for the entirety of his career, he might not make as much money as one player who has played one season away from the country. And that is a fact, because you find the player will get salary. KC will play salary 800,000. 800,000, by the end of the year, probably. I don't know how much money you have by the end of the year, but a player who plays out of Uganda just for 1 year goes over 150 million in 1 year. So we should push these players as much as possible to go out there and play. And that means that as coaches down there, the club should make sure that the chain is pushing in other players. So thank you very much for being with me this evening. Hopefully we can chat a bit more in the coming part of the year. Have a blessed evening.